Back now then to Ruskin Mill College in Nailsworth. They, of course, work with special needs students in such things like weaving, leatherwork, pottery, animal husbandry and a whole host of other things. They're now about to broaden their offering with a course designed for the general public. We've already heard my attempt at pole lathing. Well, now it's time to head off with Garrick Nelson, the Iron Age forge tutor, to the workshop that they've built themselves.
All the wood has been locally resourced. The oak was from Herefordshire, and the students actually went away for a weekend and chose the trees and lived in the woods and cut them down. And the wood that this building is made out of is larch, and this was actually resourced in Painswick. Came from a local sawmills up there and was all cut and fitted on site. And again, the horses were used to bring all the timber up here along this track that we put in. And everything was erected in a traditional style using oak dowels that were made by us on site as well, on one of the benches that you saw down in the previous workshop.
You really are working in the woods here as you come into the workshop.
We really are working in the woods here, so welcome to the forge. These forges are actually pictorial history. This is about 1950s, this forge, with double action lever bellows, as you can see here. The forge at the back there is a forge that's been in existence since about 500 BC. The forge next to Henry here is a Middle Ages forge from the 1800s. And the bellows over there were the original bellows from Ruskin Mill. So we've just had those restored. And when we restored them, there was an old slip of paper inside from the last time they were restored from 1923.
Really?
So it was almost like there was a little time capsule for us to
knowing that they'd be done again.
Perhaps knowing that it'd be done again. And what was interesting about the piece of newspaper was it was talking about the crash of the stock market in 1923. So isn't it funny? Life imitating art again.
Absolutely. Right. You lead the way.
This is Joss. Joss is actually doing work experience as a blacksmith now and hopes to be a blacksmith when he leaves college, this is his final year. He's just done a chisel twist here. This is my teaching assistant, Wolf.
Hello, how you doing, all right?
And Wolf's just showing him how to twist this. So the piece of metal's been in the vise, it's been chiselled along all four faces, and then when it's twisted, it gives the effect of looking like a piece of rope.
Yes.
So it's called a rope twist.
Rope twist.
And this is a poker, so it's got a shepherd's crook end, a square point, and he's just going to straighten this up. So do you want to show us how you straighten this up then, Joss?
Yeah.
So he's holding the piece of ironwork in the tongs, because it's hot, obviously.
OK.
Take it back to the fire.
To the fire over here, OK.
Right. So he pops the steel through the fire, getting... Don't touch it, Joss, that's right, use your tongs. And he'll put it in so that he can get the heat in the right place. And he'll bury it back under the smithy's breeze. Now, the heats that these gentlemen are going to work at is about 800 degrees centigrade.
Right.
So obviously...
the first lesson is don't touch.
The first lesson is don't touch, exactly. And
yes.
They have to learn to work the heat.
Being shown a few scars here, right? Moving on.
Well, that's right, yes. You all end up with a few calluses. So you can hear the bellows going.
There we go.
Right, now, when he gets the heat up, we work at about 800 degrees centigrade. Fire can actually take this up to 2,000, but when it gets up to about 1,500, it'll actually start burning, which is quite spectacular. People don't realise that you can actually set steel on fire.
Yeah.
You can hear that lovely sound of the air rushing through the coals, making them hot. They've got a lovely yellow glow coming through now. Now, when you straighten a pattern like this, you don't use the steel, you actually use the heel of the hammer. So it's actually to stop you from damaging that beautiful twist on the work. If you hit it with a hammer, now that you've got that detail in it, it'll damage the detail. So they actually have to use their brains in a lot of different ways, and you have to kind of keep your eye on what you're doing.
There we go.
Got a beautiful colour in there, Joss. That's it. Lovely.
Take it out.
So they're going to bring it out, pop it on the anvil.
Glowing bright now.
Tap it down. That's it. Go on. There you go. And again. And again. Lovely.
And this is something you could really look into during this time that you're here on this course. This is one of the many things.
That's right, yes. Well, we've been... this college has been going for about 25 years, working with young adults who didn't really fit into mainstream situations, but a much more practical aspect. So our craft approach of teaching crafts and land skills, because everything here is biodynamic, you know, it's all organic. They eat their food on site, it's all grown by the students, it's all made by the students. So the whole place is almost self-contained entirely. And our holistic approach to teaching and learning, which is based on a kind of a Steiner ideology about human development, helps these people learn how to be self-sufficient and how to have their work attitude and to develop their crafts and their design skills, you know. We teach communications, words and numeracy all through the practical aspects. We don't actually have sit-down classrooms.
So sit-down classroom, it's getting stuck in and getting involved and learning it while you're doing it.
That's right, you know, it's all very, very hands-on. They can move their lessons around to suit themselves. So at the moment, Joss is going away to have work experience. So because we've constantly got the forge going, when he's got time to be back here, he can come in and work with us when he's here. We've got other students who'll come in here to do one piece of work, and then they'll go on to, say, the leatherworking to finish it off, you know. So one of the projects that they love to do, which is the course that we're offering now, is the knife making. They do that in their 3rd year, and it's one of the final things that they get to do.
That's Garrick. That's Garrick Nelson, the Iron Age Forge tutor, chatting with me back at last week in Nailsworth at Ruskin Mill College. And those courses, the craft course programme that Garrick was talking about, is due to start towards the end of May, 28th, 29th and 30th of May. So if you're interested in getting hands-on, learning a few traditional skills that, as I've been saying, you can put to use in other areas of life, that could well be for you.